Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fishing Podcast. I'm Soren. This is
Jimmy.
Kerr. Anyway, Jimmy, would you like to start us off on our first episode?
All right. So for our first episode, I thought that we should do something that we all know and love, which is fishing. One of the best and most popular sports, in my opinion. And it's people have been doing it for
Thousands of years.
Yeah.
I mean, people even back in like the time of Jesus and stuff fished, and it's been an ongoing thing, and it's just a great thing to get into.
Yeah.
So
there's just so many like different types of it. It's like, some people they it's work for them. They go on a big boat and they fish, and then they get paid. Some people they just do it to eat. Some people do it for fun, catch and release. Some people do it in different ways. Some people do it for sport, like bass is a fairly popular sport fishing breed, I should call it. And there's also like I said, there's several different types of fishing. There's obviously the rod and reel.
Yeah, there's always the rod and reel.
There's the open reel. There's the
open reel. There's
what's it called?
Those are just different types of pulls, but mean, there's a lot of different ways. There's net fishing.
There's net fishing.
And there's noodling too. And the first fishing rod, by stone inscriptions dating back to 2000 BC.
Dang.
Fishing rods were used in ancient Egypt, China, Greece, Trinidad and Tobago, Rome, and medieval England. But fishing rod was invented even earlier.
Dang. It's all 2,000 years. And it's probably...
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So, basically, fish are pretty smart. Not gonna lie. You basically created this mechanism that tricks a fish, and then you get, it's crazy.
Which we call lures.
Yeah.
And they come in many different shapes and sizes and colors.
There's millions of different types of lures.
I mean, you can just go online and look at tons and tons of lures. I mean, there's so many.
You can find different, there's different lures for different types of fish as well. For example, catfish. They usually meat and stinky things because they're bottom feeders. Bass, on the other hand, or pike. They usually like little minnows and frogs, frog lures.
Frogs are good for bass in grassy, swampy areas.
There's artificial lures, so you can get just plastic lures. You can get live lures, you can just put a live fish on a hook.
Yeah, and you can cut fish up.
Yeah.
And then there's also just the traditional worm. Now, the first lure was made in the late 1890s by James Hedden, and he was originally a beekeeper who was credited with the invention of the first artificial fishing lures made of wood in the late 1890s.
That's pretty cool. They've come a long way. Now they're always there's some lures that you reel them in, they just spin around.
Yeah, some of them you have to have a consistency. Some of them, even for ice fishing, you have that little hole, so all you can do is go up and down. You can't have really consistency. So they make lures where it's just you just go up and down, and that's all you that's all you can do, because that's just how wide the hole is.
Yeah.
You can't just drill up the whole lake.
And people have made it so that you can basically go fishing anywhere where there's water and fish on the whole planet. For example, like he just said, ice fishing. You wouldn't be able to do that before. People just thought of, let's just drill this giant hole in the ice and then just, put a lure down there. And it's actually become quite popular. It's pretty fun.
And the most expensive fishing lure is the giant Haskell minnow, which is $101,200.
Dang.
The 1853 copper giant Haskell minnow is likely the most expensive production lure ever sold. When bidding ended in 2003 at a whopping $101,200, this lure became the highest price fishing related to collectibles sold at auction. That is insanity.
Insane. Yeah.
That is just wow. I mean, who would spend that much money on a lure?
Now, I don't know if any of you are that interested in fishing, but me personally, I go like all the time. And fishing is basically, it's all about skill, which is very important, but it's also very relied on luck.
And patience.
Luck, patience, and skill. And you'll be a great fisherman. So,
and you got to go at the right time. You got to be at the right spots. I mean, this morning, me and Jim went out on Charles Mill Lake in Ohio, and
we had about 10 bites, but
we had so many bites.
No fish actual caught. And then last weekend
we were close.
I went fishing for a total of like 7 to 8 hours and caught 0 fish and had about 1 bite. So, and I've had weekends where I've caught 5 fish in a half an hour. So it's all about luck. Lures is very important, so make sure to...
Yeah, the right bait is like everything.
Make sure to study up on lures.
Yeah. You need to do research and stuff.
And let's look at some world records, actually. Because, there's a world record for basically everything these days. All right. So, let's look at the first bass world record. Here, we're just searching it in. So, basically, bass, there's several different species. There's largemouth, smallmouth, peacock, striped, white bass. There's all different types of bass. Let's see what it is. World record bass 2019.
All right, world record in biggest largemouth bass. The world record largemouth bass was caught by George Perry in Montgomery Lake in Georgia in 1932. The world record bass was 22 pounds and 4 ounces. The world record was held up for 8 decades. That's held up for 8 decades.
22 pound bass. Now, I don't know if you know this about bass, but they don't grow that big.
Now, the biggest Australian bass ever caught was 4.55 kilograms, which is approximately 9.82 pounds. So that's nowhere near the largemouth.
Largemouth is probably the most sport-fished
ones. Yeah, I mean,
fish to ever fish.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Bassmasters, but it's this fishing show where these Bassmasters go out and fish for bass, and they catch these monsters.
Yeah.
It's they're pretty crazy.
Huge. And different types of fish are like I said, they all like different types of lures and stuff. Different types of fish are like better or worse at fighting back when you're reeling them in. So there's different types of bass are good at that too. So like, for example, white bass are like really, really good fighters, but smallmouth aren't the best. And here, let's look at another very popular one.
Let's look at the catfish world record.
Yeah, catfish grow to huge sizes. There's several different species. There's bullhead, blue.
Oh, so look at this.
Oh
there was
gosh.
a 297-pound Wells catfish. Wow, that is insane.
Was it in Italy?
It was in Italy, and then, that's funny. The guy's last name was Ferrari, and that's just wow. That is pretty big. 297 pounds.
Yeah, so that's basically the size of a shark.
Like he was saying, there's a lot of different types of catfish. There's blue catfish, flathead, channel. There's bullheads, brown bullhead, black bullhead. The bullheads aren't nearly as big as the catfish.
There's tons of species in the Amazon that aren't even found yet. There's also saltwater catfish. We haven't even gotten into saltwater fish yet.
This is all. I mean, we're just talking about freshwater right now. And then the Wells catfish are like the biggest ones you can get, and those are just really, really big.
I don't know much about crappie, but do you know anything about crappie?
Not really. I haven't really
very
fished for
common
those.
in Ohio, which is where we are currently. So let's look up world record for crappie. Okay. World record. Yep. Okay,
right.
The monstrous slab of crappie weighed 5 pounds. Okay. For example, this fish is basically normally the size of like a bluegill, which is basically
Yeah.
I'd say y'all know what a minnow is, so probably 5 times as big as a minnow.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
isn't that big at all.
crappie, bluegill, sunfish, they're smaller fish that
Yeah, and this
are
one is
very valuable. But this one's
probably the size of like a trash can. Like
this one's about 5 pounds, 4.6
I have
ounces.
this trash can sitting next to me. It's probably the size of that.
Yeah.
5 pounds, which is enormous.
Yeah.
Caught when was it caught? May 26, 2018. So this is a pretty recent one actually. Most of them are that recent. Let's go into saltwater now.
All right.
So
So
let's all
saltwater
start out
fish.
with sharks. Sometimes when you're fishing, you accidentally hook sharks.
Sharks.
Now, obviously, there's the one shark we all know and love, the great white. Somebody actually recently caught a great white shark with rod and reel, which just proves how powerful these rods. Which just proves how powerful these rods really are. We're gonna look up world record shark rod and reel.
All right. So in 1986, he and Donnie Braddock caught a 3,427 pound great white about 28 miles of Montauk and only 18 miles from Block Island, which still holds the record. Not for only the largest shark, but for the largest fish of any kind ever caught by rod and reel.
This pole, which is made out of fiberglass, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know how. I mean,
reeled in a almost 2 ton, 1.5 ton. Is that right?
what?
1.5. Yeah.
Just about.
1.5 ton fish. Oh, and it's a shark, so it has these teeth. I don't know how it didn't rip the pole or anything. Anyways, let's go to another fan favorite.
Another real probably one of the most
grouper.
One thing is probably one of the most prized game fish
Oh.
in the ocean. The marlins.
Yes.
The blue marlin.
Now, I already know what the world record is for this one. I'm going to let you look it up and take away that.
All right. These
It was-
marlins are beautiful creatures.
Yeah. Blue marlins can grow to huge sizes, but I'm assuming the world record is going to be...
Yeah, it's like the average length is 8 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Marlin. Yeah.
Let's see. The massive billfish is the largest blue marlin caught off Kona, Hawaii since 1992.
1,376 pounds. Now, I don't know if you know what a marlin is, but it's like a swordfish almost.
Yeah, they're all in the same family.
Yeah, it's almost like a swordfish.
Yeah.
It has, types of marlin. So, people are basically fishing for anything except for the obvious, crabs and... I mean, people still do fish for crabs. Crabs actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. People don't use rod and reel for crabs. So, you obviously can't use rod and reel for certain things that live in the water, like, obviously, whales. You can't catch a whale.
Yeah.
Crab, you definitely can't catch.
One other thing that's also very prized are the tuna.
Oh,
the
yeah,
bluefin
tuna.
tuna.
You've probably heard of tuna in
You
your cat
guys-
food or something.
I'm sure you guys have seen Wicked Tuna, the show. If not, you should check it out. It's where these guys go out and try to
We're not
fish for some
sponsored.
huge bluefin tuna. Now those things, if you caught one of those, you could sell them. You sell them over to Japanese to $20 grand. Probably
yeah.
is what they say. And what they use for those, I think they cut bait mostly, because that's what I see the guys use in the thing.
20 grand for a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different these, they're all kind of in the same family. I think they're called billfish
Yeah,
or something.
there's
sailfish,
sailfish,
there's
marlin,
tuna.
black marlin, striped marlin.
Yeah, there's tuna. There's
mackerel.
swordfish.
Mackerel's also another
Mackerel.
popular one.
Um.
Let's go to grouper. I like
All right.
grouper.
Yeah. You want to talk about grouper?
They're one of the biggest and not nasty, but if you got in a fight with this thing, it would win.
Yeah.
So basically, these things are known to be huge
And
and really eat any living thing. Like, if there's something twice the size of it, it'll probably go for it. Here, I think the world record for this one's...
So the largest grouper ever recorded, the Goliath grouper is the largest grouper in the Western Atlantic, growing to lengths of 8.2 feet. This grouper can weigh as much as 800 pounds, 363 kilograms. In Florida, the largest hook and line captured specimen weighed 680 pounds, 309 kilograms. The oldest verifiable Goliath grouper on record is 37 years. So that's as old as it can be.
Probably.
But if you just looked at pictures of them, they're just so big.
Goliath kind of looked like a huge largemouth bass.
Yeah, and and there's also an appetite for them. Like if you go down to Florida, like I was just down there a few weeks ago, you could get like
fish.
a grouper fish taco. Like they have them there. Like
in the Bahamas, my dad said he got these grouper fingers. I don't think they actually have fingers, but he said they were really good, and he's vegan, so he actually tried them and he loved it.
But just go on YouTube and stuff. These people, groupers are crazy, and there's like a lot of I think the saltwater fish are a lot prettier than the freshwater ones.
But the freshwater are.
Saltwater fishing. That's just a different level because like the fish there are so much bigger.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so much more.
Yeah, I think that's all we have for you today.
Hope you enjoyed.
Hope you enjoyed our podcast on fishing, and if you've ever fished before, I encourage you to start fishing. It's a great thing to get into.
Yeah, it's like really fun.
And it's great for bonding with your kids or your friends, and it's just a fun time. So if you're looking for a new hobby, try fishing.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye.